Hello, my name is Mallory Irvin, and this is my RCTX 4900 interview set 4 questions for Cypress Glen. The first question is a scenario question. You have been scheduled to lead alongside an LRT and CTRS in the aquatic therapy session on the psychiatric unit. You're in week 8 of your internship and you have 6 patients scheduled to attend, dressed and ready for the day with 10 minutes to spare. You have checked the patient's chart and they all have appropriate orders to attend. What should you do next? Think about the API process. The assessments are complete. And what should you go over with your patients prior to the start of the session? Being that the assessments are already complete, in this scenario, I would go over the planning portion of the API process. So ensuring that every patient, their charts are reviewed, and that I know as the intern what I'm getting myself into. I know each patient, I know their chart, their situation, and what they're coming into that session with. That just prepares me for the work that I'm going to do and how I can better meet that individual's goals and situation, really. The planning portion also consists of what the session's going to entail, having all of that prepared and ready for the session to begin. That could include ensuring like the pool itself is ready, the temperatures or whatnot, whatever protocol that requires with that facility, but also preparing any equipment that I may be using, paddles, flotation devices, any games, really anything that the session is going to need, having all of the tools and equipment ready for that and prepared for the participants to come in and utilize. This kind of eliminates any setbacks, any time constraints that might push the timed session back, but also just make sure that the participants expect to be cared for well and that everything is ready for them and they can get the best experience out of that session. The next process or step after the planning process would be the implementation, so carrying out the session, whatever that looks like, whatever I and the LRT or CTRS has planned, carrying that out collaboratively and efficiently would be the next step. This can vary in many ways of just what the aquatic therapy session consists of and what the goals are of that session and those individuals. Just carrying it out professionally and therapeutically, checking on each individual throughout and maintaining a good relationship and boundaries almost. The next part would be the E for evaluation, and that would look like wrapping up the session and making sure the individuals have finished and are kind of closing out that therapeutic process. You're kind of wrapping up the whole session and going over what that individual may got or how they enjoyed it. You've kind of already front loaded in the planning session, so now you're kind of closing up that therapeutic protocol and intervention within the pool. And so with that, I think the evaluation section is just kind of away from the patient, and that's kind of behind closed doors. So you've done the nitty-gritty stuff, but now you're going back and documenting what happened during the session, the good, the bad, positives and negatives, how that individual or individuals reacted and what they got out of it, how they're progressing towards their goals, but also recording any information about that session and individual, and also what moving forward looks like for that individual and therapist, how they're going to reach and move forward with the goals and or even set new ones. The next question is another scenario. Your 6 patients are ages 18, 27, 54, 60, 33, and 43. You have worked with the 18-year-old male for 2.5 weeks. prior to this session. He has a limited support system at home, and you have built a strong rapport. In the aquatic therapy, the 18-year-old male discloses that he will be discharged in the next 2 days. You congratulate him. He then asks you if you want to hang out, being friendly, or he's coming on to you. It doesn't matter how you take the question. Once he is discharged, how should you proceed? So with this scenario, I want to respond appropriately and as professionally as possible. This can be a very sensitive topic and circumstance that needs to be taken care of and approached professionally and respectfully. I first would congratulate him and touch on the topic of him leaving and being discharged, saying, that's great, that's amazing news, you worked so hard to get here, and it's an incredible thing that you're getting to move forward and get back into the community. So I would first congratulate him and kind of touch on that topic. Don't want to ignore that, but congratulate him and maybe share how proud I am. Maybe you could touch on like just mine and his work ethic and how we've gotten to work together. Say, hey, I've had an amazing time working with you. It's been an incredible experience professionally. And then I would kind of lean into the part where I want to maintain a professional role with him, that this is not a relationship, this is not a friendship, but we are professionals and adults, and so we have to maintain boundaries that are appropriate, that hanging out outside of work is not appropriate, but wanting to stay in touch is, I appreciate it, but it is not something that is going to work and be appropriate for this setting. I would probably redirect the conversation a bit more and just remind him that if you need any help with community outreach or getting connected within your community, I'd love to assist you in that process. But again, we can seek some other help other than just him and I hanging out, so to say, outside of the workplace. After handling that situation, I then myself, as the intern, would seek supervision, and ensure that my steps are appropriate in my position, making sure that I go through the appropriate documentation or reports and protocols that led to and followed this situation. So just making sure that I myself am handling it appropriately and as the agency sees fit. The next question is, what motivates you? And I love this question. I believe that I am a very driven person, and I am motivated very strongly by the outlook of taking each day as a blessing and a gift and utilizing it to the best of my ability, getting out as much as I can each day and making sure that I am growing as an individual. And so that kind of leaks into my professional career and educational career even too. I want to serve others, and I think when I myself am my best self, continuing to grow as a person, I'm going to build myself up to reach other people better and more efficiently in a professional and therapeutic setting. I believe that working with the public and with people takes a collaboration, and so in this setting or in this career field, the individuals that I'm assisting and working with may not be at their best, and that's okay. That's what I am here for, and that is what I'm working towards. And so that kind of requires me as the professional and the CTRS and the LRT, so to say, in the future, to be my best self for them so that I can be that person and professional for them to lean on to help them grow and to help them walk towards their goals as positively and enjoyable as I can. But making sure that I'm myself and a strong individual is incredibly important to me, and what motivates me to continue to grow as a professional individual, and just ensuring that I can do my best for others. Yeah. The next question is, tell me about your ability to work under pressure. And I believe that I am a very, like I said, driven person, but I do also believe that I'm a very hard worker and a diligent worker, and when put under pressure or in pressure settings, I tend to kind of take a step back and ensure that the work that I am working so diligently on and hard at is good work. I think if you're under pressure, whether it's time or quality of work, just really anything, I think taking a step back, making sure that you are going to produce the best work and the strongest work is super important. That way you can minimize mistakes and still produce great work and get done what you need to and reach those goals. When I'm put under pressure, it brings out an extraordinary focus that I kind of lean in towards and utilize, and it helps me to get the job done and to do it in a timely but also quality manner. I think playing sports, even going back to high school and growing up, that's where that came from, of just pedal to the metal. The clock is ticking, but you kind of still need to focus and get your head in the game to make the point and to make the basket and to reach the goals. And that is kind of similar in the workforce too. And the next question, and the last question, is explain how you would be an asset to this agency, this internship agency. Do your research with any specific agency. So I believe I would be a strong candidate and intern for Cypress Glen because of our shared values. And I was able to recognize and witness that at my time volunteering with them, the value of people and helping connect and work with them so that they are built up and their lives are rich. That continued enjoyment of life is flowing in a facility like that. And I think the LRTs, the CTRSs, the staff members and faculty all carried that and maintained that, which I respected and I aspire to also hold within my career and professional career. And I think just sharing the value in human dignity and education and quality care and connection, collaboration, even to collaborating or helping foster environments that residents can collaborate with each other, but also the collaboration of residents and faculty is extremely important. Building rapport and professional relationships to better their time there or within sessions of just working towards their goals and just gaining that therapeutic relief is super important. I bring a strong, honest work ethic that I believe I can utilize well, but also be more adaptable, especially in those settings, like being flexible, but also still holding that determination and drive and carrying honesty and integrity within my work is extremely important, along with the creative, positive outlook. I think all of those qualities I have in myself, I saw in Cypress Glen and the faculty there, and I believe that would just be a very strong match. And yeah, I think it would be a great match, and believe that I too can provide work and a professional outlook that is energetic and motivating to the residents, and also working for those individuals that reside there. That is the end, and thank you so much.